Should you completely cut off any sort of contact that you have with your parent if you feel that they are toxic in their behavior and they're not doing you any good and all of that? And in my opinion, the answer is no. And please allow me a few minutes to explain why. Hi, if you don't know who I am, my name is Claudiu Manea, and for the past 10 years I've been helping families function better together and be stronger together. So when it comes to dealing with a difficult relationship with a parent, and a lot of us have been there in the past and are even going through that as we speak, there are a certain number of reasons why I do not think that cutting off the parent entirely is a good idea. And the first reason is that whenever you do that, whenever you cut off the relationship that you have to one of your parents entirely, the cost to benefit is not in your favor. The benefits that you get from cutting off that relationship entirely aren't greater than the cost that you incur by cutting off that relationship. The second reason is that even in the most extreme circumstances, I have seen that there are some things that the person has got from that relationship, even if they were correct in their assumption that the relationship was toxic, that the parent didn't have their best interest at heart, even if everything seemed to be detrimental. Even then, there were some things, even if just one or just a few of them, there were some things that that person has got from that relationship. So it is pretty difficult to assign the toxic label to an entire relationship, especially if that relationship is with one of your parents. And the third reason is that in you cutting off the relationship entirely, you are denying yourself some of the benefits that you get from maintaining that relationship going forward. And like I said, one of the benefits is that you do not incur the psychological cost of cutting off the relationship with one of your parents. And one of those psychological costs is the pain that you derive from the destruction of that relationship. And mind you that we are not talking about a relationship like any other. We are talking about a relationship between a parent and his or her child. So that's a very different kind of relationship. Okay? If we were to talk about a co-worker or a friend, or maybe even a relative of yours, but one that is not your parent, that would be a whole different discussion altogether. In that situation, I could see how cutting off the relationship would be beneficial to you. For instance, you wouldn't be subjected to any more weird, awkward, or painful interactions, and you would be shielded from all of those. But like I said, the relationship with a parent is different. And what you would like to do instead, what you would maybe want to do instead of cutting them off entirely, is to set some limits and then enforce those limits. For instance, you could say that, look, we are not having this discussion. If you continue to have this discussion, I will end the conversation. And you will simply end the conversation. If you're on the phone, you can just excuse yourself and hang up. If you're face to face, you could just say that, okay, we're done for the day, and just leave and be done with it. But be done with the conversation, not the relationship entirely. That's a very different approach. Okay? And when you do that, when you set some limits and you enforce those limits, what you learn is how to do exactly that. And some people will argue with this point that I'm making and say, well, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just do that for the remainder of our lives? And the short answer is yes. Because, like I said, the relationship with a parent, the relationship between a parent and his or her child is very different than any other relationship that we have. And you are best served not to destroy that relationship entirely. Even if it's just hanging by a thread, even if you're just going through the motions, it's still better than not having any relationship whatsoever. Just trust me on this, and at least think about it. If you don't want to do that, at least consider it for a moment. Okay? So that's what I had for you today. If you want to hear more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell. Either way, thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I hope you have a great one. Bye.